So, did you find anything at all?
No. But my mother, she's smiling, looks happy. Not that that means anything.
No, she does. Now, Lee said these were taken in Algeria and about the time that your mother was supposedly with Bordiso. So, any chance, did you see anything, evidence of Bordiso, his face anywhere?
No, and I think it's on purpose. He probably avoided having his picture taken for some reason or another.
You know, with Stevie, anything is possible.
Yeah, and I'd like to know why he dropped those charges against me. It wasn't for my benefit. He's up to something.
Let's forget about that for now, okay? You know what's important? Is I got to sleep in your arms last night.
Yeah.
And we are getting married, and we are going to adopt a baby, and Serena's going to be so happy, and we're going to be together.
Yes. That's why I have to know what Bordizo is up to. So, as they say, I can kick him to the curb.
Oh, here we go.
Hey! Hey, welcome home.
Hey, Gail.
Missed you.
You don't have to go back to jail, right? You're out of jail for good?
I am. That bad man that told all those lies, he fessed up, told the truth, which is the way it's going to be if I have any say about it.
They caught Julie. Oh, please don't tell me I'm dreaming. I'd like to enjoy this a little while longer.
You're not dreaming. She is back in police custody.
Yeah, which is exactly where she should be. Obviously, Ferncliff couldn't hold her.
I just got off the phone with Mac. He's not sure where she'll end up now.
Did he give you any more details? Like, was Chris with Julie?
She was found alone.
Do you think she'd hurt him?
I doubt it. According to Mac, her whole reason for escaping was to give birth.
Give birth to a pillow?
Whatever her thinking, I'm just glad she didn't hurt anyone.
Me too. Because, actually, I've been thinking about giving up medicine and becoming your full-time bodyguard.
Really?
Really?
You must think you're pretty tough.
I'll bet you $10 I can take you down with one hand behind my back.
All right. Show me what you got.
All right, you asked for it. Oh, this one.
You all right?
I won.
Yeah, you sure did. Let me see that move again.
Haku Inu, Utik Tuk. That's Inuit for look who's back. Oops.
Welcome home, Victor.
Kevin Holbert brought in his pet tarantula for show and tell.
Oh, yuck.
Oh.
That must have been pretty good. I bet it was cool.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Your daddy and I have some cool news for you, too. Scott.
Lucy.
Oh, okay. I get to do it. Pumpkinhead, guess what? Because, you know, the three of us are getting hitched. We're getting married. I'm going to move back in the firehouse.
It's about time. Yes, yes.
Come here, you. Oh, well, I guess she's okay with it.
It's more than okay. It's the best news I've ever heard. I'm going to go call Neil and tell him.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, good. Tell him hi. Tell him hello. Boy.
Oh, she couldn't be happier if you told her Christmas was tomorrow.
Well, we also have some other news here. We are thinking of expanding the family.
Gail, we have decided to adopt a child.
Wow. Wow. Oh, my goodness, that's wonderful. It's a huge decision. How did you come to that?
Well, you know, we realize that there are a lot of kids out there that need a home, And we also realize we have an awful lot to give.
You don't seem thrilled, Gail.
Well, adoption, that's an incredible act of generosity, you know, Scott, but it's also a huge responsibility.
Know what responsibility it is to raise a kid, for heaven's sakes.
Hey, Scott, I just meant, you know, sometimes in the past, you and Lucy have been a little impulsive. Now, are you sure that it's not just a snap decision?
Yes, we are sure. We have been impulsive in the past, but this is not about being impulsive. I have wanted a child for a very, very long time, Gail. You know that.
Well, sweetheart, you have a child. I mean, Serena certainly thinks of you as her mother.
Yes, she does, and I'm so honored. And that will be enough. If we are unable to adopt a child, then I'll be thrilled and so happy to be Serena's mother only. But the other day, I was at the hospital, and I met this little girl, and she just started the whole thing turning for me. You know, I got to sing her to sleep, hum, and be a part of her life just for a minute. And I realized that if there's one kid out there that's scared and lonely or sad or crying him or herself to sleep, then I want to be able to do something about it. I have that ability to take that hurt away.
This is what we want to do. I mean, I think we are on very solid ground, don't you?
I can see how committed you both are. And if I raised a few questions here, I do want you to know that I am terribly excited at the prospect of being a grandmother again.
Now, there you go.
And we've thought of everything you said, and it's not going to happen right away, and we love your advice. Thank you, thank you.
All right. Yes, it takes a while. Congratulations.
Yes, and I knew that when Lee married a shrink when I was little, I knew that I'd get some analyzing along the way, as I have from you.
Yes,
at
well,
it.
I mean, if you need anything from the shrink or from the grandmother, you just ask, okay?
Okay, I'm going to ask now. We need you to stay with Serena because I need to go and move my things out of my hotel room and get them here.
Oh, sure, of course. But is there a rush? Why the rush?
Well, Bordiso is living at the hotel, and I don't want Lucy anywhere near him.
That makes two of us.
Well, Lee told me that Mr. Bordiso dropped those charges voluntarily, but I guess it's too much to expect him to stay out of your lives forever.
Well, I'm not sure why he dropped the charges, but he has no intention of staying out of our lives.
I didn't mean to run Eve out.
You didn't. She had to get to work. So where's your lovely bride?
Well, she went back to our place to clear off some space for some of my things.
And how was the honeymoon?
Oh, the cruise to Alaska was splendiferous. We saw pods of whales migrating north for the summer. Some humpbacks came quite close to the ship. You should have seen the expression on Mary's face. What did I miss around here?
Oh, nothing much. Julie escaped from Ferncliff.
What? Surely you're joking.
No, but it's all right. She didn't hurt anyone. Mac and Garcia captured her last night.
How long was she loose?
A couple of days.
And she was caught here in Port Charles? Why did she stay around here where everybody knows her?
It's an excellent question. I haven't heard a decent answer yet.
That young woman had such potential. What Greg Cooper did to her was horrifying. Of course, I blame myself for my part.
Yeah, I feel a certain amount of culpability myself. It's hard not to.
I certainly understand her wanting to escape. Life in an institution is not a pleasant prospect.
No, it's not.
You know, you saved me from that, Monk. When I became ill and no one knew what was wrong, I thought I would be institutionalized for the rest of my life.
You spent too many years in the sister's care at the convent.
I'd still be there if you hadn't come to get me. The important thing is that you brought me back here to be with you. You brought me home. You made me well.
I don't deserve gratitude. It's my fault you lost all that time.
Ah, Dr. Ramsey. A lot of people have been worried sick about you.
So I hear.
Sorry to disappoint everyone, but I'm still kicking.
I'm sure you also heard that we took Julie into custody.
Yeah, congratulations. Maybe between your department and the folks at Ferncliff, you can hang on to her this time.
We'll do our best. You know, Doc, Julie said that she had help eluding us while she was out.
Is that right?
You and Julie are friends. You were missing the same time she was. Care to tell me where you were?
Sure. I called in sick and I went to Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
Yeah. Figured it'd be safer to be out of town while Julie was on the loose.
Next time, you might want to let someone know where you're going. Your friend here was worried sick about you.
Aw. You were...
Well, with Julie free and you being her new best friend and all, of course. I'm just glad to see you're not chopped into itty-bitty pieces.
Well, that's very sweet. Speaking of, did you tear Frank and Courtney into itty bits for lying about me?
They're sticking to their story. They say that you are the one that told Courtney about my baby. According to them, you did it because you're mad at me for moving into the lighthouse.
And why exactly would I be angry for that?
Because you're in love with me.
They said I was hot to trot for you?
Yeah.
All this time, I thought I kept it so well hid.
It's true.
Of course it is, Eve. You know you're the only woman for me. You're Cleopatra. You're Juliet. And Pamela Anderson all rolled into one.
I thought so, you goof.
What did Frank and Courtney expect to accomplish with a stupid story like that?
Well, it seems to me their main goal is to try and turn me against you. But why?
Frank hates my guts. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy ran over my dog just to get to me.
Hey, how did I go from Cleopatra to Lancey all of a sudden?
I just mean that maybe the goal is to get under my skin.
Well, it seems like an awful lot of trouble just to bug you.
Yeah, well, it's the same kind of trouble that took to push you into the morgue cooler just to scare you.
Yeah. Hey, I thought that Courtney and Frank didn't get along very well. Why is she cooperating with him like this?
Courtney's a chameleon. And then, just when I think I understand her, she changes colors. But one thing's for sure. She's a lot closer to Frank than she lets on.
So, what about the, romance?
Don't take much to heart. I don't have one.
Oh. Hey, is this where you need me to do the, cheer up, Chris, you still got me? Or are you cool?
As great as that sounds, I'll pass.
Well, hey, do you want to go down to the cafeteria with me? It's peanut butter yogurt day.
Ugh. They don't change the yogurt in that thing. Just, change the sign. Besides, I gotta return some calls and update some files.
Okay. Well, your law. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Monk, what did you mean when you said I'd lost years because of you?
It's true, Victor. And instead of staying with you and finding out what was wrong, I left and I went on with my own life.
But you couldn't have known that I had a metabolic disorder. When it comes to that, how many batteries of tests did it take before I could even be diagnosed?
You don't understand. Victor, I wanted to get as far away from you as possible. I even told people you were dead.
Why did you do that?
Because of Ryan and Mother. I just didn't want people to think that, like the rest of the family, my father was nuts too.
Monk, you had every reason to run away from your history. It was horrific, thanks to your mother and me.
Victor, don't try and excuse my behavior.
Well, if that's what I'm doing, I learned it from you. Haven't you forgiven me? That I could save only you and not Ryan? And then what about when you were young and I neglected you so shamefully? You've forgiven me that.
Well, so what if I have? It doesn't give you the time back that you lost. Victor, that's what I thought about at your wedding. Watching you, you were so happy. You should have had that joy long ago.
Monk, if I had been diagnosed earlier, we might not even be here now. It might be just as it was when you were young, and I was so consumed with work. No, I was so self-involved that I couldn't be close to you.
We could have taken those walls down a lot sooner.
No. One thing is very clear. It's taken me a very long time to learn how to be a father to my son, and I wouldn't trade that knowledge, not for anything in the world.
People look at me and they think, oh, isn't that nice of Kevin taking in his eccentric old father? They don't know that I was the one who needed you. You've gotten me through some of the darkest times of my life, the darkest times of my life in the last couple of years. Thank you. Father.
My privileged son.
Oh, I wrenched my back. I'm going to sue you.
Go ahead, baby.
Othello, Hamlet. When did you become so in love with Shakespeare?
I always have been. You just didn't notice.
Since when?
Well, the videos since I got sick and tired of all the dumb hotel movies, and I joined this classic kind of club for videos.
Well, then why didn't you go with Godfather 1, 2, and 3?
I have seen Godfather 1, 2, and 3 with you many, many times. I prefer Shakespeare. It has intrigue, romance, danger, all the same stuff.
Well, you can never see Godfather 1, 2, and 3 too many times, Lucy.
And you can never read Shakespeare 1 too many times. And besides, are you forgetting I was a librarian? You know, I came to appreciate classic literature.
I thought you were a librarian so you could make time in the stacks.
I am not going to make any time with you anywhere if you're not nice to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll get it.
Hello there.
What do you want?
Just paying a neighborly visit, but by the looks of things, you're not going to be in the neighborhood much longer.
It doesn't matter where she's living. Why don't you just take a hike?
Is that how you feel, Lucy?
Yes, of course it is.
This hostility is unwarranted. I come bearing gifts.
I don't want anything from
Nobody
you.
wants your gifts.
I think you'll enjoy this. It's a collection of sonnets. I saw it in the bookstore, and I remembered how much you enjoyed my copy at the cabin. You have such a lovely reading voice. Please, accept it.
Scott,
No, Lucy,
listen,
you don't have to say anything. I just didn't realize how pathetic you are.
And why is that?
Scott, please, let's just go about what we were doing, okay? Ignore him. He's not worth our time.
No. I'd like to hear what Mr. Baldwin has to say to me.
Well, here's what I have to say to you. You didn't just come after me because we were competition, now did you?
You flatter yourself.
I know you were in Algeria when my parents were there. You had a thing for my mother. She had a thing for you, but she wised up and dumped you for my father.
That's a very interesting story. But the truth of the matter is, you didn't come to my attention until the two of you started the Serena line.
The truth of the matter is you wouldn't have done all of this to everyone over a bunch of dresses.
You're right. This is very personal. He's trying to hurt the people in my life because of what happened in Algeria. That's right. Isn't it, Bordizzo?
I think this is about all I can manage in one trip, so let's move all this stuff out in the car.
Okay. Yep.
I got it, Mom.
No, that's all right. I have it. What is all this stuff, anyway? Who is Bill Dyson, and why do you have his Social Security card?
It's nothing. If you...
Oh, I see, because the photo on this passport, issued 6 months ago, is you. And your name is Bill Dyson. Anything you care to explain, Victor?
Did you,
Win big in Atlantic City?
I guess you could say I hit the jackpot.
Well, then good. I deserve half for all the worry you put me through.
You should know I'd never go off with Julie. Even if I did, she wouldn't hurt me.
You know, Kevin told me that when they found her, she was holding a pillow saying she had just given birth.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I can't do it. You have to take this kid back.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America, more from the O.J. murder trial. The jurors who acquitted him look back. Do they have any regrets? Plus, pork in Central Park. Emeril Lagasse fires up the outdoor grill. That's tomorrow on Good Morning America.